And we're live.
Y'all getting warm air back there? No? No?
Yes.
Because, yeah, my left side's broken. It just went
All right. You guys get it done back there? Everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. Oh, let me. Yep, everything's good over here. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ozzy, Saint Anger Productions. Today we have a special guest with us. We got Aqua Fire. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. What's up?
So before we get started, how about you guys go around the vehicle and introduce everybody? Could you hear me okay?
I'm sorry, we lost you for a second. Yeah, we can hear you
Oh,
now.
okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so before we get started, how about you guys go around the vehicle and introduce yourselves. Let us know who we're talking to.
Sure. I'm Amanda. I'm the bassist.
I'm Ridge. I'm the guitar player. Chord bass, vocals. Or mud.
And then we got Johnny today. He's special guest roadie today.
Right on. All right, so it was a little hard to hear them back there. What was their names and besides Johnny, who are they and what do they do?
We got Eric right here. He's our drummer. This is Corey. He's our singer.
Awesome. All right. Well, pleasure to meet y'all. So here at St. Anger Productions, I support local entertainment. However, local is not limited to just Tonkawa, Tulsa, or wherever. Local can literally be anywhere you're located. Local is your scene, your location. So, with that being said, tell me a little bit about what local means to you. What is your location and describe the local entertainment scene for where you're at?
So we are out of Water, and we have a local scene here, lots of variety of music. We're very close to Medicine Park, which is just popping with solo artists. So we are pretty blessed to be in a location that is pretty good on support.
Yeah, your all signal's getting a little weak already.
Oh no. Should I switch it off the Bluetooth? Okay.
Yeah, I heard you say Medicine Park, and that kind of explains it.
Oh, did it? Yeah, we're pretty close to Medicine Park, being here in Lawton, which has a wonderful music scene. Mostly solo artists out there. Sometimes we're lucky and get bands. But here in Lawton, we also have a good music scene. A lot of rock, country, blues, things like that. So we are lucky to have musicians that we can support as well.
Hell yeah, that's good to know. Um, so how far is y'all's reach, and how far are you willing to take your music?
We are expanding. We would like to go to other states. We play a lot locally here in Oklahoma. Today we have a show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But we are willing to go really anywhere. We're lucky enough to get to play the bus at Oklahoma this year. And we're hoping that really expands our outreach to other states and eventually, hopefully, globally.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Rocklahoma is going to be a big crowd for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so for the individual musicians, I don't know, you might have to pass the phone around or something so we can hear. Um, I'd like to know, how did you get into instrument, or how did you get into music? And remind us again what instruments you guys play.
I guess I'll start to that phone. I started singing when I was about 3 years old. I sang most all my life. I just kind of recently got into playing bass. I started with ukulele. That was kind of my pandemic project, but I expanded into bass. They were like, "Hey, we want to start a band." Basically, handed me the bass and said, "Learn," and I did. So that's about my music experience so far. But I'll pass the phone off to Rich.
Okay.
I'm a guitar player, and the way I got into music, I grew up with Corey, and he always knew how to play guitar and harmonica. So I always kind of like idolized watching him play. And I played a lot of video games growing up, so I just kind of like transitioned over to playing guitar I think I started when I was about 18 or 19, and it just kind of took off from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Corey, lead singer. I don't know, I just always had a love for music. I grew up in Southern California and watching live shows like on beach sides and stuff like that. And just always had a passion for it. And my parents gave me a guitar when I was really little and never told me to turn it down or anything like that when I upgraded it to an electric guitar. And I don't know. I just feel like singing fits me better in this band. Ridge is a phenomenal guitar. When we were younger, he got really good at it really fast. And so I just stick to vocals and writing with Amanda. I play harmonica. Been doing that since I was about 16, just messing around, and finally got good at it. But I'll pass you back to Eric, and let's talk to our drummer.
Okay. Sounds good.
What's up, man?
Not much. What's up?
How I got started was a girl. I was wanting to flatter her, and yeah, well, it turned out that I kind of fibbed to her. But long story short, we were together, and she wanted to come hear me play drums. Well, her and her girlfriend were walking, and she got a number from a guy in Stillwater. And well, I just got off work, and that's probably like a 13-hour shift. I was working for Wendy's, and this was back when we had pagers.
Mm-hmm.
And she handed this piece of paper to me, and I was like, "What is this?" She's all trying to wake me up. Before she even got anything really out of her mouth, she already had the phone to my ear, and well, I started playing drums for him. I auditioned for him, and I was in a wreck because I didn't want to lie to her. And I don't know, it just happened just like that. Everything fell into place. I knew what things should sound like, you know. I didn't really know anything about drums, but you know, that's how I became a drummer. Is I fibbed to a female in high school that that I liked a lot, and she only dated musicians. So that's my thing. That's my rock and roll introduction there. Anyways,
One little lie, and now we got a good drummer. All right, so I do want to say real quick that if you guys do end up losing connection, which is sounding good so far, feel free to use that link on any other device and join in. I mean, if somebody wants to go ahead and, I mean, like I could send it to Johnny or whoever, and if they need to, they can go ahead and like enter the studio and just hang out and wait. Then if need be, I can just switch you guys over. Okay. All right, cool. Sounds good. But while I do that, guys, go through and describe a little bit of your musical background for us. Like, what have you done in the past for bands or solo projects or whatever you've done, achievements you may have gotten? Just like, what's your background in music?
Do you want it individually or as a band or?
Yeah, if we could do individual.
Okay. Well, I've only ever been in Aqua Fire. That's my one and only band ever. Like I said, I kind of got sucked into this project. I'm absolutely grateful I did, but yeah, not much experience there other than high school choir. I guess a little background role in the occasional musical if you want to count my singing, but nothing too special. Just Aqua Fire. Here you go, Rich. Your musical experience.
Man, I was a concert hopper growing up. Like I was obsessed after like 13 years old of just going to like local punk and rock and metal shows. And then I started going to Cat Fest like every year religiously. And then one year I got to catch the real Stone Temple Pilots, I think in like 07. They were there. Oh my gosh. And I think that sealed the deal on when I knew I wanted to be a musician. I wasn't sure what I wanted to play yet, but I know seeing Scott and the boys made me definitely want to be a musician. That's sealed it for me.
Nice.
Band projects.
Oh, and band projects, man, I've been in so many. First one I started with Corey, we was in a cover band project. Then I moved on to playing a bunch of metal, and it was just a no-name band out of, we never really settled. It was called A Dying Art, but we never settled on the name in Ardmore. And then I actually went there to play rhythm for this one country band. They played a bunch of covers. And then I think I hooked up with Eric about maybe 7 or 8 years ago for a metal project called Until the Day I Die. And we kind of like hit it off immediately. We knew we didn't want to ever like stop playing with each other. And eventually we kind of got the hunger to play some good old classic rock and roll and blues. And I told him about Corey, how Corey was looking for a band, and we just kind of formed Aqua Fire from there.
Okay.
Here, I'll pass you off to Corey.
All right, sounds good.
Don't let us wreck, man. You scare the shit out of me. I was living in Dallas, and I was trying out for a bunch of bands down there, and I don't know, I just wasn't finding the right fit. And Rage had sent me some stuff that he came up with, and he recorded and did on like his own little. Asked me what it sounded like, and a couple days later, I sent him back like a video of me singing to it. I had written a full song, and that's kind of how it developed. And so I was commuting from Dallas to Stillwater 2 to 3 times a month for about 6 months to a year, and then everybody started coming to Lawton, and eventually I came to Lawton, and now we have more time to practice, and we don't have to drive hours and hours to get to each other. But yeah, it's working out. Hope it continues to blossom and keep going up.
That's all you can do is keep going up, right?
Right. But I'll pass you back to Bud. Let's get a little bit on him.
All right, sounds good.
Oh shit! I just turned off. Hang on, man. I just turned your. I hit the wrong button.
It happens. I can still hear you though.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. So, okay, then what was the questions? Question?
Describe your musical background for us. Like, what have you done throughout your musical journey?
I've been through several bands. Like Rick was talking about, I was with the band with him till the day I die. Before that was Kill Haven, Just in Time. God, there was so many bands that I've been through, all good musicians. It's just when I got to Aqua Fire through a friend named Jennifer, it felt different. It felt like it was family. You know what I mean? And they didn't feel like, I don't know, it just felt like family. That's basically on how I have to describe it. Being 45 years old and probably I'm the oldest one, I kind of look up to them. And it should be like the other way around, but I look up to them because they're always joyful. They're always just fun to be around. It's always really never a dull time.
Makes it interesting.
But yeah.
I bet band practices are fun, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're fun. They can be fun. Sometimes they get a little bit monotonous, like after a 45, 50-hour work week or something. But other than that, you kind of get over it. And you just like, at the end of the day, you're like, well, I got 3 good friends. You know what I mean? And we almost lost you there for a second. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna put you back up there, Amanda. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hi.
All right, so tell us about any current projects that you either you as a band or you as other members may have going on.
Well, we are working on putting new music out right now. We just put out a song called Showtime. It's on all platforms. You can find us anywhere you listen to music. We are about to put out another song, so be on the lookout for that release soon. We'll be announcing it on our page.
Awesome. We'll be looking. Well, where's the page? What's the page?
Our Facebook page is usually where we announce things. It's just our Aqua Fire Facebook page, or you could go to www.aquafire. Is it official? Aquafireofficial.com.
All right. That's good to know. Any other projects that you guys might have going on? Or if you want, describe what you got going on at Rocklahoma.
Oh. Do you want to describe what we got going on at Rocklahoma, Corey? They want to see your beautiful face.
Damn, we don't even know what we got going on in Rocklahoma yet. We're going to be playing on the back of the Rocklahoma bus as what everybody's calling it nowadays. So they have Johnny would be more rehearsed in this on what campsite it is. What campsite is it?
For which one? For y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are gonna be at the rock
The Rock
big
Event.
old bus, which is the Camp Rock Event.
Yeah, it's Camp Rock Event. So we're playing there at an after party at Camp Rock Event. They all put on their own things, and this year they're bringing live music back to the campgrounds during the night hours after all the headliners get off stage and all that. So we hope everyone can come out and check us out. We'll have merch and having a lot of fun. Apparently the bus has some upgrades on it this year, so we're excited for that, and we hope everybody else is. We're going to be out there all day. We're going to be at Camp Rockaholics in the morning doing an autograph signing and handing out free swag throughout the day and whatnot, promoting our show that evening. So we hope if you're there, you can come by and check us out. And anyone else that's listening or anything like that, come check us out at Rocklahoma and Pryor this year. That'll be August 29th. Yeah. Saturday.
So I've never been to Rocklahoma. So what is this Rocklahoma and what is this big old bus?
So Rocklahoma is a festival put on by, I forget who runs it now. What was that company called? I was talking to them for a while. Do you remember, Rich?
The one that had it last year.
Yeah.
DWP.
Yeah, DWP Productions.
Danny Weaver presents.
Yeah. That was only last year, by the way. It's
Okay,
back
well,
to Pryor Creek. It's back to Pryor Creek Music Festival.
Okay, I guess it's back to the original owners. But I'm
Yes.
excited for it. It would be my first thing. Let me pass you to Johnny. He's our roadie for the day, and he can tell you all about Oklahoma. He's been
And I bet he can tell us about the big old bus too, huh?
Sure can. All right. What's the question?
What is? Yeah,
Oklahoma.
I've never been to Rocklahoma. So what is Rocklahoma, and what is the big old bus?
Okay. Well, I'll say I went. I went last year. It was my first year, and the big old bus is one of them things that just has to be experienced. It's a giant school bus with a stripper pole and a stage built to the side of it. They travel to different festivals and allow musicians to play on, and they just bring a good time wherever they go. They are always set up right by the main entrance of the festival grounds at Rocklahoma. And the best thing about Rocklahoma is it's not just the musician acts that are going on during the festival days. It's also the after parties inside of the. Did I hit something? You did.
Yeah, turn the camera back off.
Okay. But
There
it's
you
also
go.
also the after parties that go on inside the campgrounds. And Aqua Fire is going to be hitting the big old bus one of those nights to help keep the party going after the headliners get off stage. And there's going to be stages of people playing everywhere. I'm playing, matter of fact, myself at Camp Rocklaholics. We're going to be setting up the music as well during the festival. So the bus is one of them things you definitely have to experience. Though I have stories that I cannot tell in a public forum from the bus. What happened was certain undergarments I was wearing that I couldn't find after the fact. So the bus is a very memorable experience. Viewer discretion advised, all the good stuff. You know.
Is it usually pretty popular, or is it,
Yeah.
about how big do you think the crowd is?
Usually that is one of the biggest parties. I went and seen, I cannot remember the band that was playing last year, but you're just sitting at a campsite and you've got 200 people crammed in there just trying to be part of the experience, man. It's it's a high traffic area. You may have as many as 500 there at a point passing through. You may have 100 that stick around and watch. It just depends on the time of day and where all the goodie bags are at.
So it sounds like this Rocklahoma is a pretty big festival. Do you think it's actually worth going to just for the experience, or what would you suggest for that?
I can tell you right now that I've been 1 year, and it is become almost a religion to me. Just the culture of Rocklahoma and the people that come together for music. It's the ultimate gathering of deplorables and degenerates alike. We are we're all one big family there, and I think that it's something that once you go, you're going to be hooked and want to come every single year.
I like it, but you definitely got to be sure to stop by the Big O bus afterwards.
Yep.
You said it's right on the main road.
Yes.
Everybody in GA camping passes right by it, and it always draws a crowd. And for people that don't know about Rocklahoma, yes, they do have weekend camping. In fact, you could show up the Saturday before Labor Day weekend and camp from Sunday afternoon clear to Tuesday afternoon when they kick everybody out, the day after Labor Day. So it's fun times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then you said that you're going to be at Camp Rockaholic, and then they said they're going to be over there at Camp Rockaholic, and then guess what? I get to be at Camp Rockaholic with a little bit of sound equipment.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun time.
We'll also be at Camp Rockaholics around 10 a.m. on that Saturday to do the autographs and stuff. So be sure to stop by there too. And there's also going to be amazing musicians as well. Like Johnny said, it's going to be an experience that we'll never forget.
Absolutely. You might even get to see Beasley there hanging out.
Oh, I'm one of the camp hosts.
I know you are.
Howdy and good drugs. Come on.
All right. So, which one of you guys feel that you're kind of the go-to person of the band. Like
That's
anybody has
great.
questions or
I really think it depends on what's going down. We all kind of serve our own little role of responsibilities. I have dubbed myself the band mom. I always got the Band-Aids, chapstick, Tylenol, that kind of stuff. Make sure everybody's taken care of. I got snacks in my purse. They laugh at me because I have a multi-tool in my purse, but it's come in handy more than once, like when we forget a drum key or something. So they can laugh all they want to. It works.
absolutely. Be prepared.
Yes. Ridge and Corey kind of do our booking stuff. They help run our social media, things like that. And they get us in with good bands, and we have great connections with people, and it's been fun there. What else do y'all do?
I do everything. Everything that pertains to getting a band to a show, and then plus all that engineering stuff, finding studios. That's all me. And then all that writing, me and Eric, we just sit together and drink maybe a little bit, come up a couple of riffs, and see what Amanda and Corey like in the end.
And we write to it.
Yeah, let them write to it, and then I guess the rest of it just turns into a song.
Nice. So I'm guessing then it's going to be Amanda that would want to answer this one.
Okay.
What is the mission statement for the band?
Ooh, mission statement. Corey,
Yes.
what do you think? I think we do have a mission statement, actually.
Move people with our music.
Really?
Yeah, if you want to pull it up and look.
Yeah, he's looking it up to be sure what it is, because we don't want to say it wrong. Here, go ahead. You got it.
We blend classic rock and southern rock like you've never heard before. High energy, raw power, and pure fire. Get ready to have your mind blown. We're Aqua Fire, bringing the heat to every stage.
Nice.
Basically, we want to move people with our music. If we can make you headbang and cry in the same set, we probably did our job.
Okay. Head banging and crying in the same song. I mean,
Yes.
In the same set.
In the same
Not
set.
the same song.
okay, same set. I was going to say, I'm thinking like
one
worst case.
show, like one show, if we could move you to where you're rocking to where you're headbanging and almost tearing down the gates on the place. And then 2 songs later, we got you holding up your phone and crying with us. Hey man, we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
Something you feel in your heart.
Okay. So I guess back to you also, since you do a little bit of the songwriting or most of the songwriting, I had an interesting question about how you write your music.
Really, we have a simple process, but it's effective. Me and Corey usually go and sit at the table, and we listen to what Ridge and Eric came up with, and we try to kind of tune in to how the music is making us feel, and then we try to apply our words from there, because we want to come from a place of emotion, so we do connect to people, and they really feel what we're trying to portray. I think emotion is like the best base you can have for a song, because it truly comes from your heart, and that's where you connect with people, and that's really what gets people listening to your music and listening to you as an artist, just in general.
Okay, so your lyrics usually have meaning to them, some sort of meaning to them.
Right.
It's not just
And
sitting
some of
there
our
writing
songs,
lyrics and.
yeah, some of our songs come from a place of we're just having fun. Other songs are more deep. We really wanted to cover the whole spectrum of human emotion, not just, oh, we're like the fun band, or we're like, oh, we make you cry every song. We wanted to have like an array of emotions and just feeling behind our song that people could relate to from any walk of life or any age.
Okay. So now how about the music aspect? Do you guys write more straightforward riffs, or do you try and keep it more melodic, like maybe Tool or some of those other bands that's just like really intense, like musical style? How do you
Yeah,
write your
I think
music?
we just kind of pull from what we like. Our music taste is very eclectic, so we can pull from a lot of inspiration, thankfully. I think that's what keeps it exciting, but we have a few influences, I think. I'll let Rich talk to you about that, though.
We like everything from Leonard Skinner, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Motley Crue, all that '80s hair metal we idolize. A lot of '90s alternative we idolize, and then some of that early 2000s. You'll hear some of that in some of our riffs. A lot of that. A lot of people call it emo music or skater music. And then, of course, we like our classic stuff too, man. Our blues expand probably down into the 30s and 40s. If we want to go say that far back on influences.
Wow. So you guys cover quite a bit of style.
Yeah, we're really versatile. We truly are. I guess that's a good thing to have. When the crowd wants you to play a certain song, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it seems legit. Do you think that's something that's important that bands need to consider? Regardless, like, if you're new or if you've been around for 10 years, do you think that's something important for bands to do, is incorporate more diversity into their music? Or do you think they need to keep with something similar to what they're familiar?
Yeah, the bands should just stay true to their sound always. This is just the way that we took our style on it. Because we just didn't want to be tied down. Genre is an ugly word to me. It really truly is. It kills the business. What's wrong with singing 4 different kinds of music at one show?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't believe that statement for every band, because a lot of bands stay true to their sound, and we got a lot of friends. We wouldn't be nowhere where we're at if we haven't had all the branches handed to us, and a lot of friends have helped us along the way. And we try to do that the same. We're not afraid to lend a hand whenever we can, and especially if it's something small as making sure that another band can get to a show, we'll help them any way we can. We'll lend a hand.
Nice.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean in the process of this business, because there really is. It seems like we're seeing more of that these days. It really shouldn't be that, man. We're all struggling musicians. Why not help one another when we can? And not to mention, it's it's not getting any easier. That's for sure.
No, it's not. That's why I'm sitting here trying to help you guys, is to try and make it a little easier for you guys to make those connections, and make followers, to make fans. It's something that you guys need to grow, is those fans.
Yes, and we're very thankful for people such as yourself that take the time to help us tiny bands get heard by people.
Thank you. People like Jamie Missler as well, Marshall Rock.
Yes, we love Marshall Rock. We love especially what is it? Is it 97? I think it's 97 in Tulsa. Then we love Rock 100.5. They have helped us grow substantially. We'd be nothing without these radio stations.
Yes. Yeah, like the Cat's Local Talent Show.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to Jay Ramone. Oh man, he's one of the nicest guys in the game. Truly is.
So what do you think the difference is between stations like KMOD and the Cat? You know, KMOD being 97.5 out of Tulsa and Cat Rock 100.5 out of Oklahoma City. What do you think the differences would be between our local Oklahoma stations and stations from other areas?
Well, their company ran, so they got a platform that they have to run to. That's why I love Jamie at Marshall Rock. She's really not held back by anything, and she gets to kind of play what she loves to hear and what we want to hear. So that's a huge it's just like podcasting. It's taking over the news. The news is all over there. It's all about podcasting. Watching Joe Rogan and stuff like that now. I think it's the same. It's taking off for internet radio, especially. But yeah, she between like the stations, national stations. They can only do so much with what they have. Not to mention they do have to censor, in which I believe it shouldn't be censored. If it like they don't censor art, and music's an art, so why censor it?
Right.
Never understood that to this day.
It's just language, right?
That's right.
Like, where's my freedom of speech? No, we're not gonna start any uprisings. We're gonna behave.
We don't really do politics in the band. We like people. I like watching good old fashioned rock shows. There's
Yes.
there's bands out there. Oh my lord, they are setting the standard for what it is to go to see a rock show. Like Nine Left Dead, incredible band. Nine Total Riot, incredible band. I don't know if you've seen.
Yes.
Tulsa, you've seen the boys Crimson Love. They are some of the hungriest hair metal guys that are under 24 that I have ever met. Not to mention every riff is just in your face, and you're just. The first time I seen him, I screamed like a girl the entire time, and I woke up the next day without a voice. There's so much incredible talent that the state has to have these local radio stations that are nationally accredited, such as KMOD and Rock 100.5 Cat. And then we also got people like Jamie playing on Marshall Rock. Man, she's getting us played in other countries. We're getting plays in Spain. We're getting plays in Germany. We're getting plays, all over Europe, India, places like that.
Wow. So if you're a local band, regardless of where your local's at, do you think it'd be a smart idea for them if they want to grow to try and get played on Marshall Rock?
Yes, definitely. I try to send out posts all the time. If you want to get played, definitely send it into her email. And then also just artists need to figure out who their local radio station is, and find out if they do local artists, and if they do, when do they do them, and what rules do they need to abide by to make it happen. Because yes, definitely, if you're definitely a rock artist, get that music in to Jamie as soon as possible. She will get you played. Who knows? You might take that #1 spot on that top 10 countdown she does weekly, and you might even take it more than once in a row. And
right.
And then also reach out to your local radio stations. I love my good brothers of ours in a Cirkus. They went and flyered their local mall for their new hit single. And before they knew it, they had so many hits on that new hit single, they didn't know what to do. No one flyers.
I saw that.
They did it. They did it, and it worked.
Yeah.
And it's a killer song, I might add.
The good old band of Circus. Yes, they Yeah, I mean, why not? And it's a group of kids. And what do
Oh
they do?
man,
Like you said, they hit the mall and put up flyers. Like they're being active.
they
Do you think
are.
the fans want to see the bands active, or do you think they'd rather see them just posted on Facebook all the time?
Man, I think I'll tell you one thing. I got more kick of watching their videos of watching them hang up them flyers than just seeing some post that I can get interested to. I wish I would have been in town to snatch up one of the flyers.
Might have to see if they have any extras they can just send to you.
Hey, speaking of, do you want us to send you maybe like a little box giveaway you can give to someone?
I could absolutely do that.
Yeah, if you'll give us an address and stuff, we'd love to send you a box full of our merch, and then you can do whatever you want. You can do it in a contest. Just find a way to give it to some lucky person that'd be listening to your podcast.
I think we might need some keywords. I That, or you know what? I do have such a special plan for once I reach 1,000 followers. Everybody's got to
Okay,
stay tuned for this one. I think that might be a good time to give something away.
perfect. Yeah, we'll definitely whenever we get done here, just get us some information so we can definitely get you a box of goodies.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll send that over afterwards. I think that'd be fun. And who knows where we're going to ship to? It might ship to California, it might ship to Maine. Who knows? We'll have to see. So, whoever wants to take this next one, without going into the details regarding hot topics such as politics, religion, or any of those other debatable hot topics, describe the morals of the band.
Morally, like, we just try to be what we would hope people would be to us. We want to be kind. We want to be helpful. We just want to be good people, good friends. And really, that's key to our networking and who we end up playing music with. A lot of people we play music with share the same morals, and we're lucky in that aspect because not everybody is that blessed. But like I said, we just try to be really good people overall and just be supportive because at the end of the day, we are all just trying to make it out there. Whether you be in music or not, whether you're just listening, at the end of the day, we're just trying to make it, and it's just best to be kind.
Absolutely. Do you think that might be an issue with a lot of bands, a lot of the local scene, and not just necessarily Oklahoma, but just the local scene in general? Do you think that might be one of the issues out there of like bands just not being kind or bands not helping each other? Or
honestly, we have been very lucky. Pretty much everybody we ran into has been just absolutely fabulous. I know, like, the movies may portray, like, oh, there's this snobby musician, but that's not really the reality of things. Everybody we've played with has been wonderful. Everybody we've connected to is wonderful, whether that be radio stations, podcasts like yourself, or other musicians that we've just ran into. It's really just been great. I can honestly say that.
absolutely. Speaking of great musicians, there's one in the comments that says, "Woohoo, Aqua Fire, Jeff McCurley."
Oh, hey, cousin.
And then Circus said, "Hey, y'all."
Hey, we're playing with them tonight, actually, in Tulsa.
Bad Ass Renee.
Oh, that's
Yep.
over at Bar. That's going to be an awesome show.
Yes. If y'all can make it out, we'll love to see you. We're going to have a killer show tonight.
And what time does the show start?
First act goes on at
9:30.
9:30. We'll have an acoustic set, and it'll be Aqua Fire and Cirkus.
But no, there'll be acoustic artists on first.
Yes, acoustic first, and then bands
the
on
actual
second.
bands on second.
All right. And who's the acoustic artist?
Our guitarist, and I think Johnny's going to get up there for a few songs. So, perks of being a roadie, I guess, tonight.
I was just looking
So y'all,
I got a gig.
no, we already know he was looking for that food. You guys said you'd feed him.
Yeah, we will.
So you guys, if you're in the Tulsa area, stop by bar tonight. You said 9:30.
Yes, 9:30.
Check out the acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're local artists, regardless of who's up there playing. They're local artists. Everybody needs the support, whether it's the acoustic, whether it's you guys, Cirkus, Dime Store Ride. You guys mentioned them earlier. Perseus got their shirt on today. Just so many great local artists out there that they need your love and support.
Absolutely.
And so this is one that it's almost like you guys have read ahead or something, like metagaming on some of these questions I'll be asking, because he'd already talked about influences for the band. So I'll let you guys pass this around to the individuals.
Okay.
We all have people who influence us in life. Who are your influences as both an individual and as a musician?
Individually, of course, my band is a huge inspiration for me. I love every single one of these guys here. They have taught me a lot, just personally, musically, just family-wise. They've taught me a lot, and I really appreciate them. Yeah, they broke me out of my shell. I was shy, and here I am.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Good job back there.
Thank you, guys. Of course, my parents, they are wonderful. They help our band a lot, actually, by keeping our kids. We have a whole horde of kids, so I'm very blessed in that regard. My mom has sang my entire life. Her family has been very musical and has taught me to sing, and they've encouraged that my entire life. So I'm really appreciative of that. So family ultimately has been my biggest influence musically for many reasons, like I stated, including these guys here, my chosen family.
Nice.
My music influences are everywhere from Paul Rogers from Free. Like I said, I love Leonard Skinner. 38 Special. Gotta give Matt Frost to his brother. Scott at the STP, huge influence. I'm a huge Audio Slave fan and Soundgarden, so definitely Chris Cornell. And for guitar inspiration, it'd be Slash, Eddie Van Halen, Vince Gill, believe it or not, and Chet Atkins.
Okay.
So, I'll pass you on.
So how about? Well, I was going to ask how about life influences?
Explain about what you mean by
that. Poets or preachers or a childhood friend, who's influenced you the most throughout life?
Probably my grandparents, most definitely. They gave me the drive to just get it done, no matter what it takes. I'll always be honest and courteous while working hard.
Okay.
I'll give you back to Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Hello.
Oh, your screen's off too, though.
What's the question?
Who are your influences, both as a life influence and as a musical influence?
Musical influences, I don't know. I have so many. I love music from all eras. I'm into Ray Charles. I listen to a lot of like show tunes music. I go into 80s like with Ozzy, and then I go up into 3 Days Grace and Five Finger Death Punch, and just everyone, man. I like all music. I don't really know who influences me the most throughout all of it. Just really just the culture of it is what influences me the most. Everybody at concerts being accepting of everybody and no judgment and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you look like, how you dress, how big you are, how small you are. You just accept it because you're there for the love of rock and roll. And like that's this. You go there to vacation away from your normal life that you do the 9 to 5 every day. So you're all there for the same thing. They're just to escape reality, have a good time, and love each other through music. So that's kind of what influences me the most to keep going with this. Is just that lifestyle. As far as in life, I don't really know. I mean, I look up to my mom a lot. She's pretty strong. She looks after my kids when I'm not around, when I'm going to do this kind of stuff, or I'm at work and they're not at school. Yeah. Sorry, I'm bad
Okay.
at interviews and questions sometimes.
I gotta mention, you mentioned Five Finger Death Punch earlier. Looking at you like that with your hood and your sunglasses, I swear it looks like you could be playing in Five Finger Death Punch.
I don't think I have the vocal range for that anymore. I used to when I practiced when I was younger. I lived in Oregon for a few years, and I was in a metal band. And I worked on my screams a lot more then, so I had that kind of voice range. I don't really have that down so much anymore.
So you haven't been practicing that?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so good example. If you don't practice, you start losing it, right?
True.
So important message right there, isn't it? You got to be sure
Yeah.
to practice your art, whether it's the drumming, the vocals, the whatever. You got to be able to practice it.
Yeah. But
It's
I'll
crazy
pass
how
you
you can
back to
find little
Bud.
messages like that.
Right. I'll pass you back to Bud once you've been his ear.
All right, sounds good to me. Hey, it's you again.
Me again. So you said influences, right?
Yes, life influences and musical influences.
Um, my first concert was Aerosmith. That was a pretty good influence on me. Just going to concerts a lot when I was younger. Let's see. I guess it could be anywhere between like Warren Zevon to Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Leonard Skinner, Sublime, Godsmack even. I don't know, man. I just music's in my bones. My grandpa, he played every instrument known to man, so I guess that's kind of where I picked it up at. Yeah, just I love music. And it's just in my bones.
Now,
But yeah, there's
now you
a
said
crap ton of them. Sorry.
now you said your grandpa could play pretty much any instrument known to man. I gotta ask this: do you know if he could actually play the hurdy-gurdy?
I don't know. And I don't want to lie to you, but I'm pretty sure if you sat down and played it, like a
Awesome, well-rounded musician.
real well-rounded. Yes, very well-rounded. I mean, I dabble on guitar and I touch the bass, but other than that, yeah. But yeah, drums just kind of stick to my heart, and so I've tried letting it go a couple times, and it's just like It wouldn't let me, so can't.
No.
Anyway,
Now, do you hold true to the stigma that most drummers end up becoming sound technicians too?
becoming what?
Sound technicians, because that seems to be a going thing. So many of your sound
No.
technicians and sound engineers used to be drummers.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love how the way that I sound, but I wouldn't go that far. I'll just put it this way: I'm really lazy, and so honesty's best, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I just don't see maybe not now, maybe like later on, maybe if I retire, I could like do something like that part time, maybe, but not right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the next one too then.
So,
When it comes to I said I'll let you take the next one too then. So when it comes to managers, producers, and promoters, what do y'all look for in those people?
honesty. Good vibes. I'm sure they all have it. It's just peace, rock, and roll, man. I mean, peace and love. That's all it is. That's all we ever want from anybody, producers, anybody like that. So,
Right on.
I mean, I'm a pretty simple guy.
And yeah, the honesty thing seems to be a going answer when it comes to the management and promoters and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it has to be. If I can't trust you, how can you trust me? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's kind of like I'm scratching your back, might scratch mine. Yeah, it just works both ways.
It does. It truly does. And if it doesn't work both ways, like, have you seen what happens with that, or have you seen management that's been dishonest, or?
Not necessarily dishonest. It's just kind of flaky. They say like they'll do something and then they never really do it. And if they do, it's not really. I mean, my expectations are really low. But I mean, at the same time, it's just like if I don't see any more or see progress, it's a bummer, man. I mean, you try your hardest to do whatever you got to do in your band, and you just want what's best for everybody.
That is very true.
For everybody, and that's just not just the band. That's like the producer or whoever's with us. Like tour wise or excuse me, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll let you pass it on to the next one or to the next person for the next question. Just take a random pick.
All right. Here's random pick. Here we go. Here's Corey.
Corey.
Random question picks.
All right. So, Corey, what do you guys look for when it comes to recording studios?
That's really hard. We pretty much we do it all ourselves, pretty much. So it's just one of those things. Like, I'll pass that question off to somebody else.
Okay, I'll let you do that then.
What's the question?
What do you guys look for when it comes to recording studios? Like, if you had to, he just said that you guys usually do your own, but if you had to go hire a recording studio, what do you look for?
Think about that. Okay, there we go. As far as recording studios go, we have done everything ourselves so far. So we really haven't had experience with the actual recording studio. But if we do eventually step in like an actual studio, really just like somebody that is easy to work with. But we really aren't difficult to work with. We will do what we're told, that sort of thing. But like as long as they're nice and easy to work with, like I'm not gonna have any issues. Like we can work through whatever we need to do.
Right. How important would it be for them to be familiar in the kind of music you guys play? Or do you think being well-rounded in your music would help just to find a well-rounded studio?
I think being able to mix several different kinds of music would be beneficial, but not necessary if they are helping us achieve what we're looking for. Because we do have a certain sound, and I think just somebody, like I said, that would be willing to work with us and be flexible is really ideal over being well-rounded, because we can achieve what we need to as long as we communicate.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, communicate. You don't hear that word too often.
Yes, we're big on communication. I think that's vital in a lot of areas in our life.
It really is. And so now when it comes to recording studios, let's just say a band is, strictly country or strictly, jazz or metal. Do you think at that point it might be important for them to find a recording studio that primarily deals with that genre?
Potentially, yes. I think it would help to have somebody knowledgeable in that area to help them achieve what they are wanting to achieve. I think that comes back to your well-roundedness. I think that would help as well. But like I said, that core thing I think people are looking for is that communication and flexibility so they can achieve what they're needing to.
Yes. So how about the technology in the studio? How important do you think that is for you or for any band?
Technology is part of it. You can have the best technology there is, and if you don't know how to mix it right, it's probably not going to work in your favor anyway. So I think knowledge is a big portion of it, plus technology.
So you need somebody knowledgeable, you need the technology, you need communication.
Absolutely.
Do you look at the track record? Do you think the track record would be important? Like to see what they've done in the past, to be able to listen to some of their previous recordings and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial to have a portfolio. That's really in any line of work, but being able to sample what they are able to do in their studio is definitely beneficial when it comes to choosing somebody to do your music, recording it, and getting you out there.
Now, coming from a sound technician, or being that I'm a sound technician, one thing that I think would be really cool as part of that portfolio is to have from beginning to where you are now and a few points in between so we can see how you've grown. Did you come into the game 5 years ago knowing everything and you've never changed? Or did you start like, the Sony boombox and a couple microphones and now you're, top of the line?
Yeah.
And like the best.
I think it's cool to see that progression because like we get to see it in the music end of things, like see bands progress and blossom into who they are and who they're becoming. I think that would be really cool to see the sound technicians side of things, how they have progressed and what they have learned and things they can bring to the table as well. Because it's absolutely a group effort in order to make your music sound excellent to go on radio stations and things like that.
Teamwork. Yes. that's another one of those common words that's thrown around on these things is teamwork, honesty, teamwork. Um, right on. So I'll let you pass it over to your left, and
Okay.
I'll ask the next question.
Okay. That's you.
Oh, you're so what do you guys look for when it comes to booking venues?
Uh, how good the atmosphere is. Is it indoor, outdoor? Of course, it doesn't bother us to play either. We prefer
Mhm.
indoor, just like any other musician, I guess. I love outdoor festivals; they're my favorite, though. But yeah, when it comes to venues, we're just really looking for something with really great atmosphere. A lot of good regulars that come that genuinely come to enjoy music.
Okay. Does size matter? Not like that. No, does does size matter for the venue?
I'm a grower, not a shower. I'm just, no, it really doesn't. Not for us, being that small as we are. We'll play your local bars on up to a couple thousand seating venues. If not bigger, every band wants the good old 50,000 plus.
Okay. What about the technology in the venue, like the sound equipment, the lighting, the stage? Is the stage important too?
Yeah, great stage is a must, and great sound tech is a definite must. No, usually bad sound and won't bring our sound. I mean, that can turn off any band, really.
Hmm. So would you rather have in-house sound then?
Say it again.
Would you rather have the in-house sound, or would you rather find a venue where you can hire your own sound?
I like it usually when they have in-house sound, because usually the in-house person will know how to feedback off of the walls. How everything's bouncing around and how that specific room is going to be set to what you need in your board mix to be.
I totally agree. I mean, it's different going from venue to venue with your sound equipment. You're familiar with equipment, but the room changes. The room changes
Correct.
with location, with the atmosphere. The people that's in there, all the
Correct.
reflections, and yeah. So yeah, it
Good
does
old
help to have in. Yeah. Um. So here's one. I'll let you, since it's already on you. We'll start with you, and then we'll pass it around to do
Okay.
individually, and then you guys can discuss this as a band and come up with a decent answer. Um. So if you could play any one show with any artist in at any venue, even if it is not obtainable, with who and where would it be?
Do they got to still be alive and touring?
No, they don't have to be.
Damn.
Alive would
I
be
do a show.
nice, but
I'd like to do a show with the Rolling Stones and Leonard Skinner, but opening for someone that's like touring right now, I guess the Eagles.
oh, that'd be fun.
I love the Eagles.
What venue would you want to play at?
Red Rock, hands down,
Red
in
Rocks.
Colorado.
Okay. Yep. Very popular amphitheater nowadays.
Yes,
It's actually beautiful.
beautiful.
So then, yes. So then the next person.
Oh, me? Okay. I guess
Sure,
I'll
might
go
as
ahead.
well.
I guess if I had to play with anybody, I mean, I know it's not really how we roll, but I do love Dolly Parton. I love everything about her. And I also have a sparkly bass. So, I mean, we can match on stage. And I don't care where we play as long as I get to play with her someday.
So then I'll throw this one out there then. As we discussed last night with Chase of Ravens Banquet, I brought up was it Russia where Metallica played to over 1 million fans? How about that? How about that stage with Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Dolly and Amanda at the stage, the same stage that Metallica played on.
Yes.
In front of 1 million plus people.
I guess I would take the Grand Ole Opry. You know, I grew up on country, so yeah, that would work too.
There you go. That's a famous one.
Yes, yes.
And that's fitting with Dolly Parton.
Yes, it is. But I love her for a lot of reasons. I'm in education, so I'm very grateful she's an advocate for children's literacy as well. So we connected on that as well.
Nice. And I think I'm gonna throw Johnny under the bus and let him answer one.
There you go.
I thought I was off. Johnny, be good. All right, what's up?
Looking for if you could play any one show with any artist and at any venue, even if it is not obtainable, with who and where would it be?
Does the person have to be living, or does that follow into?
I mean, it'd be nice, but not required.
I like, I'm a little bit of a country, a little bit of rock and roll. I like good old rednecks having a good ass time in places they shouldn't, So I think that I'd like to pack out a show with if I could ever play something, the dream would be like Kid Rock and Skinner and fucking Jelly Roll in there at Red Rocks in Colorado. Let's just tear that amphitheater to pieces.
Get Rock is awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I want to buy VIP tickets to that one.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good time. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
It would be. So I'll let you pass it along to the next one and see what the next answer is.
Let's go to Mud first. Let's just break rotation.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? So did you hear the question or do you need it repeated?
Repeat it, yeah.
All right. If you could play any one show with any artist into any venue, even if it is not obtainable, with who and where would it be?
I think Jackal would be a pretty cool band to rock out with. I don't know where. Maybe my backyard. Let's see.
What's the address? I'll be there.
Right? But no, I don't know. Jackal. Let's see. I don't know, man. There's so many artists that I would love to just jam with.
Man, I think you'd have fun on the Lumberjack song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely asked to see if I can just at least touch the chainsaw at least once or twice. Let me see. Pink Floyd would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? I mean, just in that genre. I don't know, man. You got me kind of stumped on that one because of the fact that there's so many. There's just so many, man. That would just be just awesome. Kid Rock.
So Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Oh, so we'll have to get you in over there at the Red Rocks with Johnny with Kid Rock. But so the Pink Floyd. Choose a venue. Nice big venue.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison
they're
Square
known.
Garden.
They're known for that, right? Why
Oh
not?
yeah, most definitely.
Be a pretty good payout.
Right.
All the
So
proceeds just
then,
go to them.
I mean, you still get to get up there and on stage and jam with Pink Floyd and just have fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. So awesome.
It would be. So we got one more, and we'll see what he has to say.
Here he is. Here's the front man. Beautiful. Corey. Hello again.
Howdy, howdy.
So
I'd probably have to say probably like iconic venues like the Whiskey A Go Go, or Red Rocks, something like that. Probably with it'd be really cool to open up for like AC/DC or Guns N' Roses if we were in a different era. That would be probably one of my biggest dreams. I actually named my kid after Axl Rose. So,
Nice.
named him Harvey Axel. So, but yeah, that's kind of like my dream venue setup. That'd be really fun. But I'll pass
So-
it back up to him and let's carry on.
I was gonna ask. So
Oh, yeah.
you want to be there at the Whiskey A Go Go with AC/DC and Guns N' Roses. Which one of the two specifically would you want to be on stage with?
Probably Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. All right. Now,
Axel's
so now as a whole band, I'll let you guys discuss this one. If you guys could jam together with any one band and at any venue, where would that be? Collectively, like together.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It'd be fun for Aqua Fire to have a show. Like, if we were in a different era. Or are you talking about like now?
Okay. I was thinking that was your answer. Or would that be one and the same?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That works. So Jeff had mentioned earlier, somebody forgot to mention, oh, no, he said, y'all let Ridge drive. Why are you guys letting Ridge drive?
Ridge always drives. He thinks he's the best driver, and he is. He gets us to point A and B safely. We just we close our eyes and hope for the best.
I was just literally thinking, I believe I can fly. And he pops off about the airplane. Oh, God help you all.
I don't know. I might feel safer in an airplane with him. He's played a lot of video games.
So, Jamie, Miss Marshall Rock herself, I hope Jamie, I hope you all get to see them. By the sounds of it, since they're not flying. No, Marshall Rock said, can't wait to see y'all tonight.
Yeah, she's gonna be there hanging out.
Jamie, you're lucky. You get to go have fun. I'm sitting here interviewing bands. No, it's fun. I appreciate doing
Where are you
doing this.
located at, Audrey?
I'm up here way north by Ponca City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not very easy to make it to Tulsa or Oklahoma City for the shows at the moment.
Totally understand.
So that looks like it's it for the questions. this isn't necessarily one for everybody to pass or to comment on unless you want to. But is there anything that you guys wish to talk about, whether it's for the fans, for other bands, promoters, venues, you name it? Anything important that you feel that needs to be said, that needs to be addressed?
Just give us a follow and a share. That always helps out bands.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button. Come to live shows. That's where it's at. That's where you get the real raw experience of everything, and it's something magical. And listen, we're Aqua Fire. We're in the business of making memories, and we definitely achieve that goal at every show that we have. We're a very high energetic band and up in your face all the time. So come to a show and catch me dancing on the table in front of you sometime soon.
So we get what we pay for when we go to Aqua for show.
Go to our website at aquafireofficial.com. We keep up with all of our shows on there. Like our upcoming shows and whatnot. We have all of our merch on there and whatnot that you can check out in our merch store. There's like a bio there of us and lots of pictures from over the years. I think we put all of them on there so you can like get an experience with Aqua Fire and see what we've been up to for the last 5 years now or whatever it is. And just keep supporting local music and local podcasts and stuff that do stuff for musicians like us, like you.
Stuff is podcasts such as Surviving Oklahoma with Adam Richmond.
Say again?
Podcasts like Surviving Oklahoma with Adam Richmond.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, amazing podcast, and he does a lot for the local bands.
Yeah, for sure. I'll pass you back up to Amanda.
Okay. Hi again. It's been a minute.
I know.
So, is there anything that you would wish to add to the viewers, whether they're fans, a venue owner, sound technician, you name it, a ticketing company? Is there anything important that you feel it needs to be addressed or said?
I think Corey laid it out pretty good. It's not just supporting local musicians, but support your local radio station, your local podcast like you. Support your local sound guy. I mean, they're the ones that make the music sound good. Shout out to all the sound guys, sound women. All the people behind the scenes, venue owners, like, go support these people. They always give everybody a good time.
So you said behind the scenes. How much really goes on behind the scenes that, when we go to listen to your music or we go to the show, watch the show, like tonight with you and Cirkus, how much goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about?
I mean, as far as musicians go, we do have to practice. We have to invest in our equipment. Same thing with venue owners and sound people. There's just a lot that goes into it. A lot of preparation, time, skill, money. And like I said, that goes for everybody that is involved with music. People you wouldn't even consider, maybe even people that run the lights or sit at the doors and make sure that everybody's safe in the venue, the security guards. Like, there's a lot that goes into having a show that people don't realize, and we appreciate everybody, no matter their role, because it takes everybody to have a good time.
Yes, it does. So, I've never booked a concert before. I'm looking to book a concert. Do I just reach out and say, "Hey, I'm going to do a concert May 18th. And Aqua Fire is going to be there, and it's going to be, in Tonkwall at my backyard. Everybody come. Is that how it works, or is there how much more preparation goes into that? Like, do I need where would you feel to be the good first step? Reaching out, talking to a venue, or reaching out, getting bands first? What would be a
Yeah,
good way to
absolutely.
start booking a concert?
Really, I think you could put fillers out to bands, really just anybody you like or would like to work with. Generally, musicians that we work with have been easy to reach out to and book things with, even if you're just filling out like, hey, I'm considering the time and date. Would you be interested before I book my venue? That way you kind of have an idea of how many people you need to get situated, how much time you need, if you need multiple days, if you're booking like a festivals. And then I would reach out to the venue second, make sure that those dates are available, and start setting up that way. Then you can fill in with your sound guys, your lighting, any extracurriculars you want. I've seen like party tents, kind of like game setup, just depending on what you want to do and how you want to do things. But there's a lot of things that you need to look for after that. Just kind of fill in the blank spots, like who's going to take tickets, who do you trust with the money box, who do you trust to take care of certain things, so is there going to be food, and you could just kind of fill in from there. But I definitely think putting out fillers to your bands that you want to book and to your venue would be the first step.
And so sounds like it's a lot of work then, huh? But,
Yeah, it can be.
In your experience, do you think it's worth it? Yeah,
I think it's
all that work.
Yes, especially if you give yourself a good amount of time to get the word out to the public. Like we did Marshall Rock Fest, we talked to a guy that showed up. He heard through the newspaper. He was like, I was just looking for something to do today. I saw the article in the newspaper, decided to come out and check on some local music. I mean, that's really cool. But I definitely would suggest giving yourself time to get that out there, get a commercial on the radio, get your stuff in the newspaper, get your stuff out there, flyers, give time for your brands to promote and get people out there, their fans. But I think it would be worth it as long as you allowed yourself that time to put everything together and let it run smoothly versus making it very rushed.
So, with all the hard work, all the stress that goes in there, the anxiety, the panic, especially the last moment panics, making sure you remember everything before you leave for a 3-hour road trip. At the end of the day, what's the thing that makes it worth all of that?
Really connecting with people. I mean, personally, for me anyway, that's how it is. Like, we did Battle of the Bands last week, and it was a family event. And after our first round set, I had a little girl come up to me, and she was so excited, and she was like, I do music too, and I sing. And I let her sing for me. Like, just knowing you can connect to anybody at any age, and they're excited about music and sharing with you is just absolutely worth it to me. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you're from. At some point, you're going to connect with somebody. And I think that's just absolutely beautiful.
I love that. So that's going to be something it's etched into your memory for pretty much ever.
Yes. Experiencing those types of things makes it all worth it. Every headache, every long practice, every struggle you've been through, every high you've been through, it's all worth it for those types of moments.
Yes. But it also helps having the fans that's actually there and being proactive with the band.
Absolutely.
Because if not, it's just one-sided. The band is there performing to other bands. Hopefully, the other bands, that's one that was brought up the other day actually it's been brought up several times. stay for the show. And it's
Yes.
understandable. You got to get back. You got a 3 hour trip, and somebody's got to get up and go to work at 3:30 in the morning. And that could warrant being having to leave.
Right.
But Friday night, Saturday night, nothing's going on the next day. Stay for the show.
Oh,
And worst,
absolutely. And that's
worst,
definitely something we try to do. We try to stay for other artists.
mhm.
Because like we want them to stay for us, but we also are networking at the same time and making friends. So like if you stay, it's also worth it in the long run.
Yes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people right there in one vehicle. That even if everybody else left tonight, that's 5 people that's going to be there for Circus.
Right.
But then that's 5 extra people that's going to be there with the crowd, having a good
Exactly.
time. Like you said, networking. You're up there. I could see Johnny now up there front and center in front of Circus, head banging, fist pumping. He'd be the front and center. I could see that. But that's returning that energy back to the stage.
Absolutely. And the more you bring as an audience, the more the bands get into it. So really, like, it's just this big circle of energy. What you give is what you get back.
It is. And it's just a positive feedback loop that you give the energy, they get it, they give it back, and just multiplies each time.
Yes.
So perfect show. It's just multiplied back and forth all night long to the end of the show. You hit the last chord, you say your good nights, and you walk off stage. What is your all
You should
typical
still be.
emotion for that?
Ideally, we still want to feel that energy when, I guess you could say, the amen is said. That energy is still buzzing around that place. You still feel it in your soul. You still feel it the next day. Like you are pumped, and you just like truly experience what music is supposed to be. It's just a great feeling to come off the stage and know that you're able to have a good time with the people that are there.
Like that. So, is there anything else you guys would like to comment on, or anything that you'd like to, anybody you'd like to give shout out?
Really a big shout out, of course, shout out to you for having us on here today. We really appreciate you
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your day to talk to us and pick our brains a little bit, see how we operate.
Shout out to Shannon at the big old bus.
Yes, big shout out to Shannon at the big old bus, to Rockavet, to Camp Rockaholics.
And hit a bad signal again. Hold on, let me.
And all of our brother and sister bands
Yes.
in Oklahoma. We don't even have to say their names because they know they're all of them are each freaking special.
Yes, we have tons of band friends, and we just love them to death, and they make what we do worth it because we get to share it to people who are like-minded and want to bring their art into the world. And it's just a beautiful experience all around.
We did miss a little bit of that after you talk about Rockaholics. There was a little bit of time.
To Rockaholics, to Remy and Dawn, of course, to Bocock and Fireball, they bring our energy every time. Jamie Rock and Jay Ramone at the Cat. And local musicians, shares our stuff, shares other local band stuff, gets us all out there. We really appreciate everybody, and of course all of our Oklahoma bands, some of our Texas bands that we have networked with, we really appreciate them as well.
Nice. So are you familiar with the band We Are Branches?
We Are Branches. Have y'all heard of We Are Branches? We've seen their name, but we haven't gotten any deeper than that.
Well, perfect. Y'all think of a couple questions real quick. And what would you like me to ask them tomorrow? Because I have them tomorrow, April 6th at 1 in the afternoon.
I would really like to know maybe their inspiration for like where their music comes from. Like, is it a place of emotion, personal experience, things like that. I think that would be really cool to know, and maybe like how they've progressed as a band, where you started, where you are now, where you're going, how your music's evolved.
Typing it in right now.
All right, awesome.
Otherwise, I won't remember. Inspiration, where you get your music from, and the journey.
Yes.
The musical progression.
Right, how you have evolved as a band, including your music.
All right. So I will be sure to ask that for you. You forget to watch tomorrow so you can hear the reaction. Or if you don't catch it live, it'll be uploaded again to both my Facebook and my YouTube. So you can watch it later. And everybody else watching, definitely, and everybody else watching, if you can't catch it live tomorrow, April 6th at 1. Or there's also another one with Raven Revival tomorrow, April 6th at 6. If you guys can't catch those live, you can always come check them out. I have a playlist on my Facebook page, and I have a playlist on YouTube.
Awesome.
This has been, man, too many bands on here. Where we at? Aqua Fire. I had to relook at the list. Oh, there's a good blooper. Guys, this has been Aqua Fire on their way to Tulsa to Bad Ass Renee's right now. Look, guys, they are in their car heading to Bad Ass Renee's in Tulsa to go play with Cirkus. Cirkus is definitely a high energy band. Aqua Fire, great group of people right here. And you get to see the one and only Johnny Beasley. So, guys and ma'am, it's been a pleasure having you guys on. And of course, we can tell they're driving through Oklahoma.
Yes, we are losing signal as we speak.
Yep, that's what I was just saying. You can tell that they are in Oklahoma. Or not Oklahoma, Oklahoma. So,
yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you very much for being on here and sharing your musical experiences with us.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
No problem. All right, guys. Again, tune in tomorrow, April 6th at 1 to see We Are Branches. And we will see everybody later. Everybody have a good night. And to Aqua Fire, safe trip.